Something happened, what it is exactly. There's a man with a there. Wrong. My life, if that is wrong, I can.
Can you guys hear me? Hi, Jolie. We got Jeff and Aaron, I think, is here. Okay. For some reason, that my intro song was giving me some issues or something. It says I wasn't connected to Wi-Fi, but my Wi-Fi says I'm fine. I checked the wires, everything looked good, so we'll just go on from there. There's Aaron. I didn't change the video. I just fooled around with things, Aaron. But yeah, going out and coming back in and taking down the intro song seemed to clear things up. I hope it doesn't give me problems when I try to go to other things, but we'll see. How's everybody doing? Seems like it's been one hell of a weekend. I thought I'd wait. I came on early Saturday morning, about 2:30, because I woke up and picked up my phone. Damn it, there you go. And so I did a short thing, and then I took it and cut it up into 3 shorts and took out the thing I did because it was really not that good. Oh, kink outside the house. I'm thinking about changing my Wi-Fi provider, but I haven't decided on who to go with yet and how to go about it. So I've been having some problems with mine as well. Um, anyway, I was up till 5 in the morning or 6. I don't remember. Got a little sleep, and I thought about doing a show later in the day, and I just thought all this information is just flying, and we don't know what's true and what's not true. Gloria, you made it. Yay. I read Heather Cox Richardson's letter from an American early this morning. I think I'm going to use that for part of the show and bring it up, and I can pull that up right away. There's Jackie. We got Jeff, Jackie. Is Josh C's here yet? Jolie, the J Squad is coming. uh, that's just Wi-Fi. It's a mixed bag of stuff out there, and so I think I'll try to add Heather's letter and see if my Wi-Fi is going to behave. If not, we're going to have a hell of a night. Okay. Come on, add the screen, you little bitch. Oopsie. Okay. Let me go. See if that helps. Maybe we'll be able to read it. Yeah, you can see a bit there. Let's see. This is Heather Cox Richards' letters from an American. Early this morning, the U.S. and stop that now. The U.S. and Israel launched a major military assault on Iran. Early reports suggest that Israel targeted senior officials at Iran's government while the U.S. attacked military targets. The U.S. government named the assault Operation Epic Fury. Now, I understand that it's going around that it's actually Operation Epstein Fury, and a lot of speculation that it was, to distract. But I think there's more to it than a distraction. I think that Netanyahu wanted several presidents to do this for him. And so he was swayed by Netanyahu. I also think that he's going to use this to declare an emergency and mess with our elections. So we'll go into that a little bit later on. At least 200 people, including 118 students from a girls' school, and wounded more than 700. He killed at least 200 people. I also heard that 3 soldiers have died and 5 or 7 additional soldiers were severely wounded. So, yeah, here we go. Iran retaliated strikes against Israel where 1 person was killed and 121 others injured with strikes on U.S. air bases in Bahrain, Iraq, Kuwait, Jordan, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. U.S. Central Command says there are no U.S. casualties, but we know that now there are 3. So this is a little old, but I like the information about where the Iranian have struck. It's pretty thorough, I think. So it's kind of like I just went out there and hit a whole bunch of places. Who knew they had that kind of capacity? I suppose our services knew, our armed services, and I suppose Israeli did too. But this is going to turn into a mess. Jeff, you're drinking Bloody Marys. You're a trooper. I haven't had a Bloody Mary in a while. I haven't really had anything to drink in a while. Just haven't felt like it. Okay. All right. Shortly after the strikes, President Trump Donald Trump, the current occupant who was in Florida at Mar-a-Lago, posted an 8-minute video on social media announcing major combat operations in attack. He warned that the lives of courageous American heroes may be lost and we may have casualty. This often happens in war, he touted, but we're doing this not for now. We're doing this for the future, and it's noble. Where do you even start with that? First of all, if Trump hadn't pulled out of the agreement that Obama had struck with them, we wouldn't be in this position right now. This is a thing that a problem he created by pulling out of that agreement that Obama had with him. Obama had so they couldn't make weapons grade materials. And speaking of Obama, I heard today that Epstein told what's that dude's name? Anyway, Epstein said that Trump, if he got cornered, would start a war with Iran. He's, the guy that wears two shirts. What's his name? The creepy guy that is involved in all this. His name's on the tip of my tongue. Bannon. Thank you. Steve Bannon. So, yeah, it's just nuts. All right. For the future. Okay. Trump referred to that session vaguely, rehearsing a litany of complaints over the tensions and sometimes combat between the U.S. and Iran since 1979, but indicated the U.S. and Israel were attacking to prevent the country's murderous regime from becoming a nuclear-armed Iran. Okay. His own army is coming out and saying it would have taken them 10 years to be ready to do that. And this wasn't urgent. In my humble opinion, Netanyahu needed this and Trump needed this because both of them are sinking in the polls. Trump can't get away from the Epstein files. Are you still talking about the Epstein files? Yes. Damn it. Yes, we are. And we're not going to stop. So I don't care what you do. Okay. And then it goes on to talk about how Trump struck nuclear laboratories in Fordow and Natanz and Isfahan, and came out and said it was he had completely obliterated Iran's nuclear facilities. You guys remember that back in June? Yeah, that was a lie. So I don't know about you guys, but I just feel like this is going to go badly because he kicked a hornet's nest over there. And he has no plans for a regime change, although he's also stated that. He said, you got your shot there, guys, over in Iran, citizens. Go out there and take over. Well, how are citizens going to take over if the military doesn't go along with it? And also, the Ayatollah, they have a setup to bring somebody somebody in that will cover his place. Like the designated survivor kind of thing. So there's that. This was just so poorly thought out. Trump said the U.S. is in negotiations with warned Iran never to resume their malicious pursuit of nuclear weapons, and we sought repeatedly to make a deal. They had a deal. They broke the deal. We tried. They wanted to do it. They didn't do it. Okay, they wanted to do it, but they didn't do it. This is just Trump rambling again. Anything they wanted to do, they didn't want to do it. Does that make any sense to anybody? Anything they wanted to do, they didn't want to do it. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. And these are quotes. They didn't know what was happening. They just wanted to practice evil. But Iran refused, just as it had for decades. Now, no, we had a deal. Trump pulled out of it again in 2018. Trump did not mention the landmark 2015 deal known as the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, the JCPOA, negotiated by Trump's predecessor, Barack Obama. And we talked about this. Trump withdrew from that accord in 2018 within a year. Iran was ignoring the limits of the JCPOA imposed. So, hi, Nels. Aaron, the Nels. Josh Sees is in the house. So you see, if Trump hadn't pulled out of that, I don't think any of that would have been happening. Let's see. Let's see what this says. Gloria says, what disgusted me more than anything Trump said today was what Lindsey Graham said about our soldiers and sacrifice. I must have missed what he said. I know he's all hawkish right now. Let's see what Josh said. No, that's not what I wanted to show. Okay, it was Aaron. March 1st, 1779 to March 1st, 2026, 47 years. Here we are with the 47th occupant. I won't call him that. The J Squad's all in the house. Okay, we'll go back to this. Okay, but hours after his team posted his video, Trump told Natalie Allison and Terry Kopp at the Washington Post that his real goal is regime change for Iran. All I want is freedom for the people. He doesn't give a shit about those people. Trust me. He told reporters in a phone call shortly after 4 a.m. Eastern Time in his video address, Trump told Iran's armed forces and police must lay down your weapons and have complete immunity. And they would have complete immunity or, in the alternative, face certain death. He told the Iranian people that the hour of your freedom is at hand. Stay sheltered. Don't leave your home. It's very dangerous outside. Bombs will be dropping everywhere. And when we are finished, take over your government. It'll be yours to take. This will probably your only chance for generations. So the citizens of Iran are just going to waltz in and take it over. I don't think that's going to happen. Let's see here. Oh, you can't put links out because you're on your phone, Gloria. I'm sorry. I need to take a sip of my tea. Mouth is totally dried out from all this reading. So I don't know what he thinks he's going to do. I don't know how he thinks these people are just going to be able to, they're probably unarmed, more than likely. And if the army doesn't lay down their weapons, which I don't think they will, they'd go out and get slaughtered. I don't think he cares about the people. He has no plans of putting someone else in charge. And like I said, the Ayatollah Khomeini has has a guy or has somebody who's ready to take over. I heard it was his son, but I don't know, so I'm not gonna say that. Okay. Michael Birnbaum, John Hudson, Karen DeYoung, Natalie Allison, and Thowd McMahon, I'm not pronouncing that, McHennet, reported this evening in the Washington Post that U.S. intelligence officers assessed the threat from Iran was not imminent, saying it was unlikely that Iran would pose a threat to the U.S. mainland for at least 10 years. The International Atomic Energy Agency said there's no evidence Iran has an active plan for creating nuclear weapons, and the U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency assessed that if Iran tried to build an intercontinental ballistic missile, it would take them at least a decade. So there you have that. Trump posted on social media that about Khomeini being killed. It goes on about Iranian patriots, the country to greatness it deserves, brings back the country. He mentioned immunity, but doesn't suggest from whom that process would take place. The regime killed tens of thousands of protesters already. He also seems unconcerned that the coordinated response to the attack from Iran's leadership after the death of Khomeini suggests regime change would not be a question of knocking out the leader. In Trump's triumphant post concluded with an Orwellian "war is peace" Orwellian statement. We've all read that book, I'm sure. Writing that the process of rebuilding should start soon because in just a day of bombing had very much destroyed and obliterated so much of the country. The heavy and pinpoint bombing, however, will continue uninterrupted throughout the week or as long as necessary to achieve our objective of peace throughout the Middle East, indeed the world. Boy, the hubris of this guy. War is peace. What are you getting, Perfect Nels? Okay. Trump's objective for going to war sound vague because they are. The event that triggered this attack is also vague so far. There's no evidence of an imminent threat that required the attack. His prescription for what his war is trying to accomplish is also vague. It's vague because he's trying to make sure that Netanyahu and himself, once they get kicked out of office, don't go to prison. All of this is just smoke and mirrors. Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? Yes, we are. It's a given that this sort of vaguely justified attack on another country usually reflects that the leaders in the attacking country are worried about losing power and are launching a war to try to get disaffected people to rally around the flag. Wag the dog much? Indeed, social media users are already referring to the attack as Operation Epstein Fury, suggesting it's an attempt to distract from the frequent appearance of the president's name in the Epstein's files, as well as the recent story of the Department of Justice illegally withheld an allegation that Trump raped a 13-year-old girl. It's all about What do you want me to do, Nels? Something like this? All right. Hi, Stephanie. Glad you made it. Nels, with that, what you wanted me to do? Trumpstein files are complicated. They sure are. They wouldn't be had they followed the law that Trump signed that said you have to put them, release the documents, and redact only the names of the survivors and leave the rest out there for people to see. And recently I heard that the latest photos that came out with Nutlick on Epstein Island, after they came out, they took them off the webpage. So, yeah, they're not doing their job. They're not following the law. They're all a bunch of pedo protectors. Okay. Talks about the State of the Union address. Trump's approval rating fallen to 37%, while 59 disapprove. His speech did little to convince their Americans that he was trying to address their concerns about the economy. We all saw, well, we didn't see it, but we heard about it. G. Elliott Morris of Strength in Numbers reported that after the speech, only 30% of Americans think Trump is focused on the things that matter to them, while 57% think he's focused on other things. Yeah, he's focusing on how he can extort people and companies. And he's trying to get this company, this tech company, to agree to let his army spy on Americans and possibly use AI to kill people, and the company wouldn't do it. And I'm going to do a story on it because it's a really good story. But he came out and slandered the company and put it in peril and told people not to deal with it. But that's another story, and I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole right now. In January, inflation reported out yesterday shows prices rising faster than expected, inspiring Health and Human Service Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr. to suggest that Americans should buy cheaper food. Okay. Maybe he wants us all to go out and get some roadkill, because, that's what he would do. Scholar of authoritarianism Timothy Snyder noted in Thinking About that Trump's personal corruption is another interpretive framework for thinking about his decision to go to war. Trump's sudden foray into regime change after years of attacking other presidents who tried to raise the question of whether he is acting for the countries in the Middle East he considers his allies. Given the stupefyingly over-corruption of the Trump administration, Snyder wrote, one must ask whether the United States Armed Forces are now being used on a per-hire basis. That's a freaking scary thought. Is he letting countries use our army and collecting money on it? Snyder noted that Gulf of Arab states eager to curb Iran's powers have generated extremely generous packages of compensation for companies associated with Trump and with members of his family. Great. Heather said something, I think on the 27th. Epstein's corruption is international. We know that. Thanks, Nils. but she was pointing out that it didn't have to do with just trafficking children and women and men, boys. It probably had to do with money laundering, drugs, and it's not just, as we know, it's an international, you call it a international mm, cartel, I guess would work, or which is very scary. Let's see. Last week, Hugo Lau of The Guardian reported that Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, and Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff, both of whom have deep financial ties to the Middle East, would guide the decision of whether to strike Iran. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has been lobbying for the U.S. strikes on Iran for a long time, and hours after Snyder wrote, Washington Post journalist Birnbaum husband DeYoung, Allison, and McKenna reported that Trump decided to attack Iran after Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Laden made multiple private phone calls to Trump over the past month advocating for the attack. Bin Salman, did I say bin Laden? Bin Salman, while at the same time publicly calling for a diplomatic solution. At Talking Points memo, Josh Marshall pointed out that as his power diminishes, Trump is leaning heavily into presidential prerogative powers, where his powers is most untrammeled. Where the loss of political power doesn't really matter. Almost no presidential power is more clearly in that character than the president's control over the military. And that is the crux of the matter. For all the vagueness, justification, and goals in attacking Iran, he has launched a war, his word, on his own, assuming the powers of a dictator. Yep. What do you got to do, Jeff? Anyway, I think Heather's letter just spells it out so dry. You can go and watch 20 different podcasters and get 20 different viewpoints, but I think she does that and then kind of incorporates what she finds to be credible. Just love her. All right, and here we are. The Constitution gives to Congress, not to the President, the power to declare a war. After fighting for their independence against the king, they considered a tyrant. The men of the Constitutional Convention were not about to hand the power of raising an army to a single man. One delegate commented that he never expected to hear in a republic of a motion to empower the executive alone to declare war. Trump's attack on Iran also violates the Charter of the United Nations, which members promise not to attack other states. This particular attack raises the specter of a larger war. In an emergency meeting at the United Nations Security Council today, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres warned that everything must be done to prevent further escalation. Trump launched this attack while lawmakers were not scheduled to be in Washington for a week, but Democrats are demanding Congress return immediately to vote on whether to continue military action against Iran. Senator Andy Kim, Democrat from New Jersey, said in an interview, this was one of the most dangerous efforts that Trump is undertaking in the second term, trying to normalize war without Congress, trying to normalize the idea that a president can do just whatever they want when it comes to foreign policy. Who, though huge though it is, there's a larger issue behind it. Since taking office again, Trump has gone out of his way to define tariffs, deportations, and so on as part of national security policy. The president is supposed to get Congress's buy-in to go to war, in part because that requirement forces an executive to convince the American people. And that's another thing. He's not convincing anybody. He's just, can you believe he's just doing this from Mar-a-Lago? He doesn't even go to Washington. When all of this was going down, I heard that when they started bombing, these people in Mar-a-Lago were dancing and having a party, which is sick and twisted on so many levels. I don't know what you guys think, but I believe it. Let's see. Morris notes that support for attacking Iran has held fairly steady for months and remains so after the strikes, with 34% in favor of them and 44% in opposed. This is incredibly low. Support for a foreign war, Morris writes, and support for military action tends to be highest at the start of a war. Trump's attack on Iran scorns the will of the people and their constitutional right to decide whether they want to pay for a war with their money and their lives. That disdain for democratic government reveals that Trump's military adventure against Iran is also fundamentally an attack on the United States of America. And that is her letter. And I thought it was a damn good letter. Hey, Trucker John. Let's remove that. So I pretty much agree with everything she put in that letter. You guys know I'm a big fan of hers, and I often use her videos and clips from her videos. What are you guys talking about now? Got a bunch of unruly chatters in there. How did your show go? Did you do a show today? Oh, Janelle Walker's here. Thank you for coming. Let's see, did I miss anybody else? Anybody else? You guys are all such good guests in my chat room. I love having you here. All right. One thing I said when I posted this was that I thought Trump was doing this to let me see if I can add this. I thought he was doing this so he can mess with our elections. You know, he can declare we're at war, national emergency, or whatever. And a lot of people are thinking that that's what he's going to try to do too. Trump ties Iran strikes to claims that Tehran interfered in U.S. elections. Just a few days ago, it was China that interfered, but now apparently it's both. Let me see if I can get this enlarged enough so you can see it. Okay, let's see if you can see this. Got to be a little larger. I think this might work. Oh no. How can I get this out of here? Okay, I'm going to have to make it smaller and just read it to you. All right. Yeah, you can't read that. Sorry about this. All right. Trump suggested Saturday that his military strike against Iran may have been driven in part by claims that the country interfered in our last two presidential elections. Well, of course, they did. In response, Democrat advocates warned that a dangerous and unconstitutional plan is coming into view in which Trump uses an Iranian war to claim a national emergency that allows him to take control of the midterm elections. On Truth Social, Trump leaked an article by a far-right news site and also posted the text of the article's headline. Iran tried to interfere in 2020-24 elections to stop Trump and now faces renewed war with the United States. This article claimed that Iranian intelligence sought to undermine Trump's re-election bid in 2020 through a variety of election influence efforts. Early Saturday, the U.S. and Israel launched a series of joint attacks on various targets in Iran. We know this. Killed Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. This is from, by the way, this is from Mark Elias and Democracy Docket. He writes, the big lie is taking shape right in front of us. Donald Trump will try to use this to assert illegal and unconstitutional powers over the 26 elections. The White House is reportedly coordinating with anti-voting activists on a draft executive order that declares a national emergency and gives Trump control over elections that would be unconstitutional. This week at Democracy Docket, election chief huddle to combat Trump's meddling in an illegal draft executive order aims to give him control of elections. So yeah, I thought that was right off the bat. Hi Kimchi, glad you could make it. Yeah, I think we've got a fight on our hands, and he's going to use every level of deceit and treachery to make it harder for people to vote. I don't know what we're going to do if he's got his eyes people at voting polls. It's a real worry. We have to keep on it. We have to keep calling our reps and demanding that they stop this. I mean, I know they keep saying we, the people, have to stop it, but if they take away our right to vote or make it harder for people to vote, or they can actually take over the whole process of voting, we have no chance of getting control in 2016. So yeah, it's a big worry, but we have to be diligent. And I want to go and look at Blue Sky and see if there's anything. Refresh my Blue Sky. Let's see. Mueller, she wrote. Let's add this. There. I'm going to come up. There we go. Mueller, she wrote, let's call Massey today and get him to switch parties, then force Gonzalez to resign, then get the gavel issued, issue some subpoenas, and impeach some MFers. Let's see. Okay, Mueller, she wrote, we've bombed Iran and dismantled joint terrorism task force and sent third of the FBI to help ICE and gutted the National Security Council. And a drunk guy is in charge of the Pentagon. And our intelligence allies probably won't share intel with us because people couldn't vote for a woman. All because we couldn't vote for Kamala. Netanyahu calls, this is from The Onion, Netanyahu calls Iran strikes necessary to prevent the war he just started. Insane. It's just totally insane. This is from Michael O. I don't know who that is. Question is being asked, what happened to the peacenik, Donald, and his board of peace? Good question. HRC says follow the money. Epstein accused his friend of Trump laundering money for Russians when he bought out that estate Epstein wanted in Florida. Ron Wyden, this is a big one. A newly uncovered document has revealed the existence of a mysterious Epstein investigation. It's spearheaded by the DOJ investigative drug trafficking. Yeah, Heather talked about this, that this isn't just an international crime ring. It's also, dealing with trafficking children and whatnot. It's also drug trafficking and money laundering. And I believe that. I think this goes way deeper than people know. Senator calls for the DEA to provide info in incredibly disturbing Epstein drug investigation. Federal drug enforcement investigators target Jeffrey Epstein and 14 others. Oh. Well, we slipped up again. It's Crew. Crew is Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington, uses high-impact legal actions to target government officials who sacrifice the common good to special interests. I think we've all heard of Crew before. Oh, man. ICE. Just security. Okay. I think I've seen enough of Blue Sky for a while. Let's remove that. So what did you all do over the weekend? I stabbed my thumb doing dishes. I got my acoustic restrung, and the string was hitting the fret, so we got it retooled a little bit. It's sounding pretty good. Maybe I could play a song. I really wanted to work on a new song, and I didn't get this week because I just got so much going on. I got my mom's book shelf tonight, and I've got a bunch of books I gotta go put on it of her. Oh, it's all right, my girl. Let's see. I'm just gonna check make sure I'm in tune. I did it before, but I just want to do it again. Take care, Stephanie. I'm glad you got here. Glad you stopped in. Hope your surgery goes well on the 17th. Dye your hair green. Come on now. Oh, nice. I saw that, Gloria. But you need gas, better go get some now. Take my love and let you get down. I'm a mountain and I turn around, and I saw my reflection in the snow-covered hill till the landslide brings me down. A mirror in the sky, what is love? Can the child within my heart rise above? Can I sail through the changing ocean tides? Can I handle the season of my life? Oh, I don't know. I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I built my life around you. Time makes you bolder, and children get older, and I'm getting older too. Da da da. Da, 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 take my love and I take it down. Climb a mountain and I turn around. Did you see my reflection in the snow-covered hill where the landslide brings down? Did you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills where the landslide brings down? Where the landslide brings down. I'm so happy to have my guitar back and have it sounding so good. I got it all restrung. Got the fret problem all worked out. Let's see. Hide that comment. We'll do Seagull again. Let me have a sip of water. Laura Malcolm made it. Laura, I play like 5 chords on the mandolin now. I don't really know a song yet though, but I'm sure I could make one up with 5 chords I know. Seagull, you fly across the horizon into the misty morning sun. Nobody asks you where you are going. Nobody knows where you're from. Here is a woman asking a question. Is this really the end of the world? Seagull, you must have known for a long time the shape of things to come. When you fly through the sky, never asking why. You fly all around till somebody shoots you down. Na 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 na. Seagull, you fly across the horizon into the misty morning sun. Nobody asks you where you are going, and nobody knows where you're from. You fly through the sky, never asking why. You fly all around till somebody shoots you down, 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 down. Fly away, baby, fly away. Tomorrow, Seagull, gonna fly. Lead me to my sun. Fly. I made my brother come over and take my tree down because it's like up to the ceiling. I couldn't even get the top piece off. Fortunately, I know tall people. Imagine all the people. Damn it, how's that go? Imagine. Gotta work on that still. I actually need to start working more on those. I just seem to be running from one thing to the next lately. Sewing, reading, doing the show. Try not to let my mind explode from all the madness. Oh my God, I'm playing Freebird. Believe in tomorrow. Would you still remember me? I don't know where the hell that came from. I haven't played that in years. I must be traveling on now. There's too many places I got to see. If I stay here with you now, things just couldn't be the same. I'm as free as a bird now, and this bird will never change. Lord knows I can't change. Lord help me, I can't change. Sorry, I got lost in a retro world where I used to play that song. I haven't heard it in forever, and I don't know why that just popped up there like that. But it was a good song. It definitely was a good song back in the day, like Leonard Skinner. I'm marking my age with that one. You guys still here? What are you playing, Jeff? How are you playing? Let's see. Blackbird? In the dead of night. There. Take your broken wings and learn to fly all your life. You're only waiting for this moment to arrive. Birds sing in the dead of night. Take these sightlines, learn to see all your life. You're only waiting for this to be free. Black. Ow. Sorry. There we go. There it is. Sorry. your life. You were only waiting for this moment to arrive. Birds in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes, learn to see all your life. Sorry. Holy crap, I butchered that all to hell. But I get points for trying it. Don't I? Okay, guys. I promise I'll try to practice next week and play that mandolin for you. It's totally backwards kind of from a guitar and different and all. But I think that the mandolin, I have really little hands. I don't know if you can tell that. But the mandolin fits my hand better and I can, spread more octaves. What, Josh? Oh, that's funny. Yeah, Freebird's not as popular as it used to be. I think people got kind of sick of it. Add more. Yeah, Josh, it is a hard song. I mean, if I haven't been playing for quite a while, like for a few hours, I can usually, if I've been playing for a few hours and my fingers jumbled up, I can get through it better. But I've only been playing here for 10 minutes or so, and I'm like, my fingers are just not, they are in protest. Not to mention, I stabbed my finger, my thumb, and I shaved a bunch of skin off of it a few days ago doing dishes. It was quite the surgery I did. So I've been trying real hard to keep it clean and bandaged up. So for the last several days, I didn't pick up my guitar, which really upset my brother since he went to the trouble to get it all fixed up for me. I finally did last night and played one song. Let's see, I can't see my face because of this guy, so I'm going to shut that off. I know I've kind of a lazy show tonight, but after this weekend, I just like, okay, we're going to talk about this, what I can figure out to be true. I checked Heather's sources and I trust her sources, so I thought that would be a way to get some information out to you guys. It's straight up and not some, rando guy out there yelling what he thinks things are and what. Oh, Jeff, shush. Yeah. I love that you guys come here and be with me, and it was, it was a rough couple of days. I mean, starting early Saturday morning, I think I've had trouble sleeping. I've been worried. I think we're all worried. I mean, this is insanity. It's straight up madness. That we've been living with this madness for a decade now. Even when he wasn't in office, he did not shut up, which really pisses me off. And if he'd have lost with grace, just went away, wouldn't life have been much better? I do too, Josh. All you people are family to me. Jolie is my backbone, helping me mod this stream and helping me put up links and everything. I'm going to, on Monday evening, I'm going to see about working with another group that wants you to go out and talk to people about politics, but I don't know how that's going to go. It's going to be some sort of training tomorrow night at 6. So I'll see about that and let you guys know. I think this is just an Iowa thing, though. I still would like to go with boat riders, but honestly, I just can't afford the stamps and the envelopes right now. Got my water bill this month, and it's a lot. So it's gonna be a rough month. And hands yellow red, hands yellow, heart red. That's telling you what the emoji was if it was up there. I like the J Squad all being here, keeping us all straight. Trucker John stepping in, Laura, everybody, Josh, Janelle. I think Darlene was here. Gloria's here. I think I saw, who else did I see? Come on. Kimchi was here. Did I miss anybody? If I missed anybody, I love that you were here. I want you to remind y'all to look to your communities for any kind of support you need or any kind of support you can give. Didn't make it here briefly or not? No, that was Stephanie. Stephanie's here. You're right, Gloria. Anyway, look to your community, see if you can help one, or if you need help, look to your community. I think in times coming toward us, we may need to rely on our communities more than we know, or we may need to help our communities more than we know. Check your right. Everybody's got to stay safe. Keep your, it's another thing somebody told me just recently. You should take time every day to just go outside if weather permitting and enjoy the sun, or if there's something you really love to do, just go do it and shut everything off and just enjoy life a little bit. Because this kind of craziness, if you just stick in it, it can mow you down quicker than you know. It makes you tired, makes you feel sick and afraid and worried. So we all need to take breaks now and then. Don't be ashamed of that. If you don't want to drop in one night, nobody's going to say nothing to you because we're all family here. And I thank you all for coming tonight. I hope to put up another stream soon or some shorts, maybe some shorts of my dogs and my cats. Yes, Josh, it's true. Love you guys all. Have a good night. Get some rest. Watch a movie or do something fun. Be kind. Take care. Thank you, Jolie, Gloria, for modding. Have a good night.